Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I welcome you to the Human Resource Management course. The next topic we are going to learn is the appraisal feedback interview. See, what does this appraisal feedback interview means? See, as we know that supervisor is the one who is going to take the appraisal performance from each of the employee. So out of the n number of employees, so who is having the best capabilities, so and who has done the good job, so based on those conditions the appraisal performance will be given to that particular for that particular employee. So if we need to give that particular award any or any bonus, then the interview has to be taken. So based on the feedback, based on the values that is given by each and every employee, so based on that the conditions will be given. See, the supervisor, they'll get to know what are the strength, what are the weakness, and what are the deficiency in his roles, and the remedy will be given to that. See, preparing for the appraisal interview, basically three steps they are there. The first step is the subordinate at least 1 week notice has to be given for him, so that review. See, very important is the review has to be done on his or her work and read over his or her job description. They need to know what type of job this guy is doing, and based on that, how is his performance. Analyze the problems. So what are the problems that he is facing, and compile the questions and comments. This is the first step. The second step is study is a job description. The very important thorough description of the job has to be done. Then the supervisor, you need to compare what is the performance of the employee, the present versus the past. Basically, they get to know what are the strength, what are its weakness, and what are its standards. Basically, it is the ratio 10 analysis. What is the main standards? And they are going to review the files of the person's previous appraisal. And the third step is, see, after all this designing planning is done, then they need to choose the right place for the interview. So if the interview has to be taken place, then it has to be taken place in a quiet environment. The atmosphere should be very good. So the right place has to be taken for the interview and schedule enough time for that. So time has to be given for that. See, even this interview should take place in a short period of a time. Even it should not extend for a long period of a time. So the interview should be done in a private area. See, the interview is made in. Why the interview is basically done? Basically, they get to know they'll get to know what are the capabilities of the employee. Basically they try to improve the unsatisfactory performance and reinforce the satisfactory performance, right? So get the agreement before the subordinate leaves on how things will be improved and by when. So this is about basically the feedback of this appraisal performance. The next we are going to deal with legally defensible appraisals. What do you mean by term legally defensible appraisal? Means what? Question mark. See, develop appraisal criteria from the documented job analysis. Basically, see, what does it mean? Basically, it is this the supervisors, they are going to develop the appraisal criteria. See, if the appraisal performance has to be given for the criteria has to be put. Like he has to achieve this, he has to achieve 90% above, then only the prize will be given to him, like that. They need to develop the appraisal criteria from the documented job analysis, communicate the performance standards to employees in writing, base appraisals on separate evaluations on each of the job performance dimensions, include an employee appeal process. Basically, they need to communicate. Communication is also very important. See, one appraisal should never have absolute authority to determine a personal action. This is also very important. See if the supervisor, see sometimes the supervisor doesn't give a good attitude towards the employee, then that opinion which is given by the supervisor might not be always correct, right? So apart from the supervisors, the subordinates, the other managers, response will also be taken. Document all information bearing on a personal decision in writing, right? So writing has to be done. Basically all the description of the job, all the information about the job bearing on the personal decision. Train the supervisors in the use of the appraisal instruments. This is also important. The training of the appraisals should be very done, so if they train the supervisors, then the supervisors can develop the criteria, right? That's very, very important. The next we are going to learn with what are the limitations of appraisal. Basically, guys, we have a totally 9 limitations of appraisal. The first limitation is the rating biases. This is important. Rating biases means halo effect, the error of central tendency, the leniency and strictness, personal prejudice. The second point is failure of the supervisors in conducting the performance appraisal and post appraisal interview. This is also very, very important. Limitations of appraisal means, see, sometimes the supervisors they are not going to take the correct interview. Like the attitude is not good. The attitude is not good towards the employee. The way they ask the questions, the way they treat the employee is not good. So then see if if the supervisor itself is not good, then the correct appraisal performance will not be given for the employee. Third point is most part of the appraisal is based on the subjectivity. And the fourth point is less reliability and validity of the performance appraisal techniques. See, very, very important is see traditional methods. See, most of the companies they are still following the traditional companies mainly to give the appraisal performance to the employee. So these are traditional techniques. They are not reliable. They are not validity. They are not validity based on the current trends, so it's too boring techniques and it's not so worth also. Based on that they're not going to give. For example, see, for example, let's take an example of a college. See, one call see, I'm going to give an example of a college. See, there are two students. See, one student is extremely good, one student is extremely good in academics, just is a bookish. See, what is there in the book, that's it, like the student he gets under. See, one student he gets hundreds or 100, the another student he gets for 100 he gets 60, he'll get 60 or 50. But that guy is highly talented in the extracurricular activities like basic, like the knowledge about the world he know. But another student 100 or 100, he knows only the information within the book itself. Then the another guy, we cannot neglect it, even he is also having some of the techniques. So that is also something. See, in most of the colleges, the one student who get above 90%, they'll take the students. The students who are get below 90%, the college doesn't take the students. That cannot be done. See, basically, the marks is not only the criteria. The what is the extra skills? The extra skills, the extra knowledge they're going to have. That's very, very important, right? So that's also important. See, basically the traditional techniques, basically it is a rating. Fifth point is negative rating affects the interpersonal relations and the industry relations also. So always a positive rating has to be given. If the negative rating contract, if the negative rating is given, it will affect the interpersonal relations. Absence of inter-rater reliability. Supervisors lack the tact of offering the suggestions constructed to subordinates. So sometimes the supervisors they won't give a proper suggestions or the proper ideas to the subordinates. There is a lack of information. So information continuity is being lost. And the ninth one is too many objectives of the performance appraisal. This is also important. I'll give an example. See, tomorrow is exam, and if we read too much, if we read all the concepts before one day the exam, then it's a waste. Nothing will be going to our mind. In the same thing, for example, see for the exam, if we read each and every page, if we read each and every page for the exam, is it a good thing? No, it's also a waste only. Only what is important to the syllabus, what is important to the world, real time. That's all that topics we need to write. That's it. So too many objectives of the performance obsessor will also be the limitations. This is important. The next, the contents of PAS. PAS means performance appraisal. What are the contents? What contents has to be there? See, for one employee, I am a supervisor. I am a supervisor, there's another employee. If a supervisor needs to give a performance appraisal to the employee, so based on what conditions he can give, like what are the conditions? The first one it is regularity of attendance. First thing is you need to be punctual. The first thing is you need to be punctual. First thing is you need to be punctual. The second one is you need to have good oral skills and speaking skills. good listening skills, speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills has to be very good. Basically communication has to be very good. The third point is the coordination has to be very good. You need to coordinate with the people. The fourth point is you need to have a good leadership skills, the good leadership, the good responsibility skills. You need to be made capacity to maintain all the thing. The fifth point is the technical ability or the knowledge. Basically, general knowledge has to be very good. The sixth point is the level of acceptance of the subordinates. See, you need to accept. See, whatever the supervisor, what are the subordinates, they say to me, you need to accept all the criticism also. The knowledge of system as well as procedures. Next, this is important. You need to have a good technical skills, creative skills, and the quality of suggestions. See, very important is the person should be very patient. He should also the person should be able to take suggestions from the people also. You need to take good suggestions also. See, as we know that as we are the humans, no one is correct. We are learning day by day, and we need to take a good quality of suggestions from the people. So these are all the contents of the person performance appraisal. So guys, this is about the module 3. I hope this video is quite informative for you. So please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.